Drop whatever you're doing right now. Literally, just stop and listen. Because what we're about to reveal today is a literal, life-saving secret. We are breaking down the absolute, unbreakable laws of wealth. This is about stopping that vicious cycle you're in, trading your precious life away for absolute pennies. We're going to dive deep into the profound insights of Bob Proctor and expose the exact, hidden mechanics of massive wealth. Guys, this isn't just some boring financial theory. This is a rescue mission.
So ask yourself, are you running out of time? Look, here's the shocking reality of it all. Your current financial path, it's a fatal trap. Think about it. You wake up, you commute, you trade your hours for a tiny paycheck, and you just do it day after agonizing day. You're catching a disease called burnout. You are literally trading the most precious finite resource you have, your actual life, your literal heartbeats, for a tiny fraction of what you're actually worth. It's a mathematical trap and you cannot win. If you feel totally exhausted, you're absolutely right. If you feel like you're sprinting on a treadmill that just keeps speeding up, you're right. But listen, there is a way out. Imagine going from making $4,000 a year to $15,000 a month. Yeah, that's not a typo. That is Bob Proctor's actual mind-blowing leap. At 26 years old, the guy was completely broke. He had exactly 2 months of high school education under his belt, zero business experience. If he paid off all his debts, he'd still be deeply in the red. But within one single year, his entire reality changed. He went from making $4,000 in an entire year to making $15,000 every single month. Think about your yearly salary right now. Now imagine seeing that entire amount dropped into your checking account every 30 days. He figured out the ultimate shortcut.
Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, well, he must just be a genius. Nope. That is the big lie school taught you. Escaping poverty does not require extreme intelligence. It turns out money is governed by exact laws. Proctor realized you absolutely don't have to be a genius to make bank. You simply have to understand its unbreakable rules. Just take his brilliant business partner, Sandy Gallagher. She handled $100 billion in business. Yes, billion with a B. She bought, sold, and merged banks. And she didn't do this with magic or extreme luck. She did it simply by mastering the unbending laws of money. Look, gravity works whether you understand physics or not, right? Money works the exact same way. Once you know the rules, the whole game changes.
And that brings us to Napoleon Hill's brilliant concept of the river of power. I want you to picture a massive, raging river. The left side of this river is just filled with negative emotions. It violently pulls you downward into misery and poverty. But the right side, that side is fueled by positive emotions, and it carries you upward to massive wealth. Now here is the harsh truth you need to hear. Poverty requires absolutely no plan. Poverty is the default setting. If you do nothing, the river just drags you down. It's ruthless. Wealth, on the other hand, demands action. It demands that you actively grab an oar and row to the right side. You literally have to consciously force yourself into the current of wealth. So how exactly do you get into that wealth current? Well, if we look at the wealth strategy distribution of the entire world, it's dramatically terrifying. 96% of the population is stuck using strategy 1, 3% use strategy 2, and just 1%, a tiny 1%, uses strategy 3. Yet that 1% hoards almost all the money in the world. 96% of people are basically just following a herd right off a financial cliff. They are trapped. But that 1%, they know a hidden shortcut. So let's break down these 3 strategies, because you need to see exactly which trap you're fighting against.
Let's start with the trap almost everyone is stuck in, the M1 strategy, trading your time for money. Like we said, this is the fatal trap used by 96% of people. It's this life-draining disease taught in literally every single school. You go to work, you punch a clock, you get a check. But here is the fatal flaw with M1, saturation. You will eventually run out of time. It seriously doesn't matter how brilliant you are or how much you charge per hour. You only get 24 hours in a day, you have a hard mathematical limit, you will hit a ceiling, and you will burn out. Trading time for money simply does not work for building true wealth, period.
So, what about that 3%? Well, that's the M2 strategy, investing money to earn money. Now, on the surface, sure, this sounds like the smart move, but for the average, burnt-out worker, it is a dangerous gamble. People in M1 squirrel away these tiny pennies just to invest, but they lack true investment mastery. They're basically throwing darts blindfolded. And because of that, they usually end up losing it all. Unless you have proven expertise or you're working with a master who handles billion-dollar deals, M2 is a trap. It can wipe out your life savings in a heartbeat.
Which brings us to the ultimate life-saving secret, the M3 strategy. multiplying your time by setting up multiple sources of income. This right here is the 1% shortcut. The elite 1% do not work multiple jobs. Let me repeat that, because it is absolutely vital you get this. They do not work multiple jobs. Working multiple jobs just means you run out of time even faster. Instead, they build multiple automated income sources. These sources pay them while they sleep. They multiply their time by having systems, businesses, and investments work for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They completely sever that toxic link between their time and their income.
So how do you actually execute this? You use Emerson's law of compensation. This ancient law states that your income is an exact ratio to 3 simple things. 1, the need for what you do. 2, your ability to do it. And 3, the difficulty in replacing you. Now, listen to me very carefully here. You must violently ignore steps 1 and 3. The need is already there in the market, and if you get good enough, you're going to be impossible to replace anyway. So you must obsess exclusively over mastering step 2. Master your ability to do what you do. Get so incredibly good at it that you become entirely irreplaceable. That is how you command massive wealth.
But to actually do this, you have to completely break your old programming. Alvin Toffler famously said, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." I urgently need you to understand the weight of that quote. Our world is changing at breakneck speed. If you want to survive, you must immediately unlearn the lies that school taught you about money. You've got to unlearn the idea that hard physical work equals wealth. It doesn't. You have to relearn the absolute laws of multiple income streams. You must adapt your mind before you can adapt your bank account.
But hey, here's the incredible news. The modern world makes executing this easier than ever before in human history. The internet makes it unbelievably fast. Your reach is entirely global now. Income literally arrives while you sleep. Big and small streams just flood into one single bank account. You don't have to open a physical brick-and-mortar store anymore. You can have business flowing in from all over the world straight to your phone 24/7. Whether those streams are massive rivers of cash or just tiny little trickles, they all add up. It is a 24/7 wealth shortcut, and the best part? You can start building it from your living room right now.
So you have the power to stop trading your life for pennies. You know the exact laws of money now. Will you grab an oar and row toward wealth, or are you going to let the current drag you right back into burnout? The choice is entirely yours. Look, don't just watch this. You need the right tools to actually shift your reality. Go to manifestatormind.com right now. Get your mindset blueprints and start changing your life tonight. The link is right below.